On the Pokrovsk front line, the sky is no longer just a blue sky for Russian troops. Above their heads, death swirls silently, controlled by the trained hands of the WORMBUSTERS unit, part of the 414th UAV brigade, the Magyar Birds. Every second, every breath could be their last. A faint humming sound often approaches with a piercing screech. Footage captured from their operations exposes the reality of modern warfare in stark terms. WORMBUSTERS pilots operate with cold precision and military discipline, giving the enemy no chance to breathe. Amid the ruins of buildings destroyed by artillery and relentless attacks, new footage shows WORMBUSTERS pilots from the 414th UAV Brigade, the Magyar Birds, writing a new chapter in modern drone warfare. One scene clearly shows the enemy, the Russian soldiers, who call themselves liberators, seeking cover behind the wreckage of an old minibus and a building no longer fit for shelter. However, the eagle eyes of Ukrainian drones penetrate everything. From the skies above, their every move is monitored. Their every breath feels like an invitation to destruction. The footage clearly shows the panic of Russian soldiers as they try to take cover, crouching, crawling, and running for safety, but to no avail. The minibus parked beside the rubble is no longer a shelter. It's a deadly trap, with FPV drones striking with precision, turning what was once considered a safe haven into an instant hell. The ruined buildings around Pokrovsk are no longer shields, but open graves. Every passageway, every hole in the wall seems to have been mapped out by WORMBUSTERS pilots, renowned for their ruthlessness and mercilessness on the battlefield. The sheer weight of Russian losses is evident in the footage, with enemy bodies scattered throughout the area of attack, demonstrating that no place is truly safe from the eyes of Ukrainian UAVs. Those who try to hide behind vehicles or rubble are still detected and mercilessly eliminated. This phenomenon reaffirms Ukraine's dominance in drone-based asymmetric warfare, and WORMBUSTERS units not only eliminate infantry, but also destroy enemy morale. The surviving Russian soldiers know that every time the drone's small engine approaches, their end is near. Operations like these go beyond target elimination. They reflect the new doctrine of modern warfare, where UAVs are a key weapon for crippling enemy logistics, infantry, and psychology. In Pokrovsk, a key battleground, aerial control via drones proved far more decisive than conventional artillery. The WORMBUSTERS units, with their experience and accuracy, continue to demonstrate the high cost Russia is paying. Efforts to protect themselves from the UAV's sharp eyes, even the use of old civilian vehicles, are no longer enough to protect them from the sharp eyes of the UAVs. This footage bears silent witness to how modern warfare has changed. On the Pokrovsk front line, human courage is consumed by the coldness of technology. Russian soldiers trying to hide behind minibuses and rubble find only death, while WORMBUSTERS pilots in the distance calmly complete their missions. The 414th UAV unit, Magyar Birds, once again demonstrated that in the skies of Ukraine, there is no room for escape. Any enemy troops in sight immediately become a target for the drones of the 414th UAV unit, Magyar Birds. Seeking to maximize the effectiveness of its hits, fighters from the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense and the Special Operations Forces carried out a series of operations, unique in terms of their complexity, to disrupt railway traffic on the Orel-Kursk and St. Petersburg-Pskov routes. According to sources in the Main Intelligence Directorate, HUR, 2 Russian guards were killed and another had his legs blown off as a result of the attack. According to the source, unknown mines were discovered by Russian Railways employees on the Malo-Arkhangelsk-Glazunovka railway section the day before. The occupiers called in an engineering team from the Russian National Guard Special Forces to the site. However, during the unsuccessful demining operation, an explosion occurred, killing 2 Russian guards and amputating the lower limbs of another. As a result of the explosion, as of 2200 hours on September 13, Federal rail service was suspended, with more than 15 trains delayed in both directions. The sabotage on the railway was confirmed by the so-called governor, Andrei Klitschkov, and residents are posting footage of the fire. Another attack was carried out on the night of September 13 to 14 at around 2:30 a.m. local time, 23:30 UTC. The St. Petersburg-Pskov railway connection was blown up on the Stroganovo-Mashinsk section. As a result of the attack, a locomotive derailed and 15 fuel tanks were destroyed along with their fuel. According to a source in the HUR, the operations were carried out jointly with units of the Ukrainian Defense Forces. These railway lines are critically important logistical links in supplying the occupying forces in the Kharkiv and Sumy sectors. As a result of the destruction of the railway infrastructure in these areas, the Russians will experience significant logistical difficulties, which in turn will substantially affect their ability to take active action against the Ukrainian Defense Forces, emphasizes the interlocutor in Ukrainian intelligence. As reported by Ukrinform, an explosion occurred on the railway in the Oryol region of the Russian Federation, killing Russian Guard soldiers. Ukraine's military intelligence, HUR, said Thursday its special forces struck and disabled a high-value Russian Black Sea Fleet vessel near Novorossiysk in a drone attack. The agency said the September 10 strike hit a Project MPSV-07 multi-purpose support ship, one of only 4 in Russia's fleet, and commissioned in 2015. The ship is worth an estimated $60 million. The drone targeted the vessel's bridge, destroying its navigation and communications systems and knocking out its electronic surveillance equipment. At the time of the attack, the Russian vessel was carrying out electronic reconnaissance and patrolling approaches to Novorossiysk Bay, where Moscow has redeployed much of its Black Sea Fleet after repeated Ukrainian strikes in occupied Crimea. Ukraine has intensified its use of domestically produced sea and aerial drones in the Black Sea, claiming a series of successful attacks against Russia's Navy over the past year.